Hello from a new video, part 2 of the kitchen cabinet build. Alas, it's not the final part of the build, but it's the part where I finish the frame and stick the whole thing into the lime. So I've got a lot of carpentry stuff to show you and a lot of lime stuff. Plus, all work and no play. That's no fun. So I've got a little extra bit at the end where I take a tour of a friend's new piece of land. And so basically it's just us walking around on a beautiful day, some gorgeous shots, set to some music. So nice way to finish the video after spending a lot of time trapped in the corner of darkness. So stick around until the end where you can see that, and then you'll see me again where I'll check in before I finish the video to say goodbye. So I hope you enjoy everything. We're just going to dive straight into the work. It's a continuation of the previous episode. If you haven't watched that, you can check it out somewhere up here. Watch that first and then come check this one out and you'll have a better idea of what's going on. So let's just get straight into it, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Carved out these two bits. This is the front of the cabinet, and then these guys will sort of sit in here, extending to the back, hopefully bringing everything into square. So I just need to cut out the part with the pencil mark on it on both of these pieces, oil everything up, and then call it a day on today's work and hopefully assemble everything and put it all in place tomorrow. So this thing here is what's called a Japanese pull saw, and I get asked about it quite often. Maybe you can see that this side, the down side, right here, is large teeth, and then this side here is smaller teeth. The large teeth side is for cutting rip cuts, and the smaller teeth are for just regular across the grain cuts. So that's the difference, and I'm going to use the rip cut side now to make a rip cut in this little piece of wood. But first I'll start it with this guy, also a pull saw, just a different style, and it's just a smaller blade, which means it's more accurate. So I'll get things started with this one first and then move to the correct teeth. It's a lot cleaner than the chisel, and anything that isn't as it should be, I can just clean it up with the chisel now. But yeah, looks good. On to the next one. Good morning from a new day. It's another stunningly beautiful morning, and the landscape is just really coming alive with all this rain. The grass is popping up, and it's just beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. I'm hoping today is the day that I finally get this kitchen cabinet installed. I've got, well, the final 3 pieces of the frame. They're ready to go. So I'll fasten these guys on, and then I'm going to try to manhandle the whole thing into place. But first I'm going to do some liming on the wall so I can kind of squish it all into the lime, which will hopefully save me some liming hassle later on. Perhaps this makes no sense. Let me show you what I'm talking about. But first, let me move the wheelbarrow and straw out of my living area because it's not raining and it's not going to rain for the next little while. And living in a tiny space, with a wheelbarrow and a big bucket is not ideal. So out it goes, and then I'm going to get started with work. Won't you come with me to the corner of darkness? So I have these 3 pieces here, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3 there. And once that's done, I will hopefully have a fairly solid unit that I can turn, put into place, and then squish into the wall. One thing that's mildly concerning is the wobbliness, the rock and roll of this. The bottom part has sort of warped a little bit, and it kind of is concave. So that's fine, maybe. We'll see. So the reason I've got 2 screws going in so close to each other is because I don't want to risk screwing into this part. And this needs to be strong because it's what's going to pull the top 2 pieces together down here. And at the moment they want to sort of splay apart. So that's the method to this madness. And then once this piece is in place, nice and tightly, I can add the other 2. Yay, fun with clamps. This is where I could probably use a 3rd hand to try to get this all together, but hopefully I can get it done. So that's a little annoying. I was hoping that this clamp would really pull this in so that the front part here, which maybe you can't see, would be flush. This would be flush with this. But you can see there's a little sort of corner piece here that's in the way. So what I'm going to do is disassemble everything, chisel this little bit off here, and then that'll allow the whole thing to go in and be nice and flush at the front. This side is a little better as far as flushness goes. It's not perfect. You can see there's a gap there, but yeah, maybe I'll do the same on this side as well since I'm taking the whole thing off. So it's all these little things. We kind of add time to stuff. We should possibly be using a square or something, but let's just eyeball this and see what happens. And so this is a good example of why everything takes me so horrifically long. It's these little perfectionist ways that I have. Perhaps not ideal for getting a job done quickly, but I think it'll serve me well once the final product is all finished. Obviously there's all kinds of imperfections I can see everywhere because I'm new to this and I'm just learning, but if I have an opportunity to try to get something just right, even if it'll take some extra time, I'll probably take it apart and do that little thing. And this is a good example of that. So hopefully this allows the front of the cabinet to sit flush, and it won't be one of these little imperfections that bothers me later on. Okay, round 2. I just realized that actually it's this piece of wood that's screwing everything up, so I'm just going to chisel off a funky little section here, and then I'll be good to go. There's a big knot there. This might be unwise. So this could be an unwise decision. There's a big knot right here, and if you have the choice, you never really want to be chiseling into knots because they're quite unpredictable. But I'm doing it anyways. I just like to take risks, you know? I love a good old knot-related risk. Alright, so that's much better. I'm happy with that, and I just need to stop faffing around with this and get on with assembly. I really do not know the best way to do this. Wow, this is a lot squarer, more square than I expected it to be. As for the rest of it, I have no idea, but the top part looks good. Wow, well, no. It's not great. This side's a better. This side looks okay. This side looks less okay. But the beauty of custom cabinets is if and when I ever make a door for this thing, I can make it to fit the wonkiness of the frame. Yeah, this thing is actually a beast. So once I get these two pieces attached, I think I'll just leave it how it is and move on to doing the lime wall. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with how this is going. Okay, ooh, frame done, more or less, and it's very heavy and very, very sturdy, so I'm really quite pleased with this. So next step is to sort of manhandle this into place and then try to see where I need to build the lime up, because once I put this frame on, because I've put the tops and the side parts on, liming is going to be quite difficult because I can't do the upward motion. So if I can put as much lime on the wall now before I squish it into place, I think it'll save me a lot of headaches later on. So that's my plan. Let's see what this looks like. So there's still quite a bit of an overhang here, and I want this to be flush. So this has got to go in a little bit more that way, about 1 centimeter, or half a centimeter, which means I need to claw out a little bit more lime. So I have some more work to do before I stick this thing into place. So I will check in once I have it all perfectly lined up. Okay, I scraped the lime out, and I think where this thing is sitting right now is pretty ideal. I just need to measure the bottom part to see how far it sticks out so it matches with the other side. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's something that should be, you know, at least around the same distance. So I'll do that now, and then I'm going to try to mark the wall to see where I need to build the lime up, and then I'm going to start liming. So it sticks out a little bit more on this side by about half a centimeter, which, is it okay or not? I actually don't think it'll be too much of a hassle to get it to go in a little bit more, so might as well do it right. That's better. Let's lime. So this actually looks like it could be a problem. Not a big problem, but an annoying little problem. So is this more or less, yeah, so that's plumb up and down. It's plumb in that direction, and it actually should come up more like this, in this direction. So it's kind of sloping inward. But sloping inward is sort of better because look at how much of a gap there is back here. So obviously these walls are not even close to being plumb. I don't know if I should be concerned about that. I think they generally taper to be more narrow at the top than the bottom, so it's not too alarming, I suppose. But it's a lot of lime to build up. Yeah, so I don't really know what I want to do about that. I think I can probably get away. You know what? I'm not even going to bother with the back because I don't know. Okay, I've made a decision. I'm not going to build up the back to meet this because that would be ridiculous and a hideous amount of work, and let me say it again, it would be ridiculous. So what I'm going to do instead is just lime the back wall, just the way it is, maybe build it out a little bit more, and then when I put the countertop on, obviously it'll go right to the end. Doesn't matter that the support doesn't go all the way into there, it doesn't matter at all. And then on this side, I'm going to have tongue and groove going across, and I can just build the tongue and groove, scribe it in such a way that it sort of fits into the wall on this side. So basically whatever lime I end up with, I can work with that. And it saves me having to build out the wall with a whole bunch of lime. On this side though, I would like to not have gaps here. Although I guess I can just make it so the shelves go all the way to that side. You know, I don't know. I'm going to have some breakfast and I'm going to contemplate this. At a minimum, I'm obviously going to want to fill in all these gaps. And I'm going to want to fill in this gap here. So I will want to build the lime up to meet this. So that's something that I'll try to do before. So I think what I'll do is focus a bit on this wall up to kind of this level. And then this corner as well. Although I can do the corner after this is put in place. So I'm going to take a rest, have some breakfast, and tackle this momentarily. But one thing I definitely need to do is soak the wall. So I'll give it a good old spray now, and then I'll spray it again right before I get started. The wetter it is, the better it is. And I definitely need to clean up all of this before it gets wet and gross. Okay, I've had some breakfast and I'm ready to get going again, and here is my plan of attack. The first thing I'll do is probably whack a few nails into the side here so that the lime has a better chance of gripping on. And then I will possibly do the same back here. And then basically, I guess I'll put this whole, oh no, and then I'll move this thing out of the way. I'll add a little bit more lime, well, quite a bit more lime probably to this. So I'm not trying to just kind of cram it in there, and also build this up a little bit more. And then I'll push the whole thing back in place, and then I'll just kind of start stuffing lime into the cracks. So, yeah, you know, it's not maybe the best plan, but it is a plan nonetheless. And it'll allow me to keep moving and get this job done. So plastering and filming at the same time, I think I've mentioned before, is quite tricky. So I'm gonna stop the filming and I'll check in when it's a bit more finished. But I think you get the idea of what I'm doing. Sticking the stuff on the wall. Liming is hard work, especially in a stuffy, sweaty corner on a hot day. But I think I've done pretty well. I've built the wall up and out as much as I could. I ran out of mix. I have plenty of lime and more on the way, but I ran out of sand. So I need to get some more sharp sand from the builder's yard before I can do any more of the under layers of lime. I have plenty of the fine sand to do the finished layers, but I need more sharp sand. So until that point, liming is finished. Anyway, enough talking. Let me show you what I've done, and then let's get this cabinet into place. Okay, no more lime in there. No more lime here. And lots of lime there. So I've just been building it up as much as I can in the spots that are going to be very difficult to reach very soon. So in this little compartment here and here will be almost possible to lime with the upward motion, and same back here up to a point. So I'll be able to add more lime, but I'll have to do it with the trowel, which will just be a little bit more labor intensive and more annoying. I guess my next step will be to score it like that so the next layer sticks more easily, and it'll be much easier for me to do that now rather than when I have the frame in the way. So I'll do a bit of scoring. Okay, here we go. This thing is surprisingly heavy. Oh no! I think I might have built... I did. So I think you can see that I built the wall out a bit too much up here, so now it won't go all the way in. It's about 1 centimeter out. That is very annoying, but I probably should have thought of that. So I'm gonna have to claw some of this out. Will I never learn? Okay. I guess that's good news for the wall. It's built out enough, so that's good, but it's just annoying to have to redo work and waste lime. Although I will be able to find another spot to put this stuff, so that's fine. Let's try that again. Fingers crossed it works this time. Let's try some brute force. Brute force for the win. That worked, and the cabinet is in place, and I'm very, very happy. I'm so ready to move on to the next job. I've been spending a lot of time in this corner, and I'll be back here again into the corner of darkness, but I'm looking forward to moving on to some other things. All right, that's a wrap on kitchen cabinet work for the moment. Let's go for a walk. Let's go visit my friend's land, have a little stroll, and then I'll check in at the very end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that little wander around. My friend's place is about 5 hectares and has loads of ideas, and it was really fun to have a wander. There's loads of interesting people in this area, all with hopes and dreams and big ambitions and lots of plans, lots of energy, at least at the start. And it's always amazing to see what people can accomplish when they put their minds to things. So I'm looking very forward to seeing how his land evolves, and same with all my other friends in the area. Everyone's got big projects on, lots of interesting things happening. So yeah, maybe I'll check in on some friends from time to time and see if I can show you their places as well. We'll see. Let me know if that's something you would like. So I'll say goodbye from this video. I've got loads to do this week. My parents are coming very soon, and I have a massive list of jobs to get through. So I'm looking forward to checking them all off my list, but I'm also feeling quite intimidated by the amount of work I have to do. So, like I said before, less talking, more work, and I'll see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, comment, all that stuff. I do love getting your comments. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.